Yes, mic with you, Brother Zainul.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Jazakallahu khairan, dear brothers and sisters. A very, very warm welcome to all of you, to Brother Dr. Umar Hafiz, to our esteemed guests there, Salma Sirali, ظهير Abbas, and Brother Musaddiq there in Mauritius. A very warm welcome to you all, and of course, our engineers and technical producers here, Brother Muad and Brother Najim from Saudi Arabia and Turkey, respectively. So tonight, alhamdulillah, we have a panel of speakers here from Mauritius who are going to talk to us about Waqf in Mauritius. And we're going to start off with Brother Musaddiq, who's going to be talking to us about the state of Waqf in Mauritius, perhaps giving us a little bit of a background of Muslims in Mauritius as well. And I hope that we will be able to get some further insights into the Awqaf situation in Mauritius. Now, just as a way of introducing Brother Musaddiq, he has been a founder member of the Students' Islamic Movement in Mauritius for many, many years. He has got a variety of interests. He has been involved in television, journalism, media, in what is called International Baby Food Action Network. So he's got quite wide experience in community service work, and he's an educator himself. So I hope that we are going to get some good insights from his perspective, and he will be talking on the state of Waqf in Mauritius. So the floor is yours, Brother Musaddiq. If you can, Brother Muaz, could you allow him to come in? Brother Musaddiq, are you there? We can't hear you, Brother Musaddiq. If he's not there, could we go on to Brother ظهير?
Yeah.
Okay, Brother Musaddiq, you are now going.
You have to disable. You have disabled the screen sharing here.
Sorry.
You need to enable the screen sharing.
Okay. So I think the host has to enable you.
Brother ظهير, you should disconnect the audio for one device. There is two devices in the same room. You should disconnect the audio.
Right. Can I share?
Okay. And if you can enable the share screen, Brother Muaz.
Okay, he can share the screen.
Okay, I think you're getting there.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, please. If you can just give us a very brief background of Muslims in Mauritius, percentage Muslims and so forth, so we just get some context of the Muslims in Mauritius.
Okay, Mauritius has a population of 1.3
Yes.
million inhabitants, 18% of whom are Muslims. And
18%.
yeah, we have, yes, 18% are Muslims. We have 300 mosques throughout the island. We have a dynamic Muslim community with many Islamic organizations in different parts of the island.
Your voice is not coming out clearly, Brother Musa. Your voice is not coming out clearly.
Okay. So the Muslim community is about 80% of the population, but most the Muslims are involved in the civil service as well as in marriage, and there are many professionals around the community. So we can say that the Muslim community is quite is someone some kind how to, we are quite good situation economically, although there are some pockets of poverty in some areas. So, coming to the presentation, I'm supposed to comment on the state of Waqf. In 19, the Muslims in Mauritius managed to obtain a Waqf law as early as 1941 during the colonial era. And in fact, the law was resembles much of the law that was implemented in India. The law provides for the setting up of a board of Waqf commissioners, commonly known as the Waqf board. The board also under the responsibility of the Prime Minister's office. Since Mauritius became a republic, is the president who appoints the board of Waqf commissioners. At present, the board consists of 15 commissioners, representing different components of the Muslim community. It should be underlined that the Muslim community mainly came, all of us came from India, so our great grandfathers came from India, but according to our geographic origin, there are different components in the Muslim community. The chairman of the board is also appointed as the president, and usually a senior government officer. The actual chairman is the Supreme Court magistrate. The board is a corporate body. It starts as a corporate body under the provisions of the Waqf Act 1941. The annual accounts of the board are audited by an independent firm of chartered accountants. The board functions as a supervisory body for the management of each Waqf through the Mutawalli. Through the Mutawalli by the respective Waqf. Powers of the board. The board has the following powers. It supervises the general administration of any Waqf.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, brother Zainul. Actually,
Yes.
we cannot hear anything. They must close the other device, only using one device, because we cannot hear anything.
Yes, I know. That's what I've said right at the beginning. ظهير,
Okay, we close one device.
you must have only one device operating from where you are.
There's a huge echo during your speech.
And there is some background noises as well. Maybe some children speaking or something.
Okay, should I restart?
Yeah, I think go through your first 3-4 slides quickly.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, much better. Okay, you've got about 10 minutes left.
Okay. Okay. Come in, 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes is okay for me. Should I start again?
Yeah, I think from your, you went through the Waqf board and the number of commissioners and so forth. If you could just follow up from there.
Yeah, okay. So
Main points.
We were about to talk about the powers of the Waqf board. It generally supervises the administration of Waqf properties through their mutawalis, and it ensures that the Waqf Nama is being observed. It also supervises the finances of all Waqf property and ensures that the annual reports are submitted. It keeps a register of all Waqfs and applies to the court in any case of alleged breach of trust. Since 1960, the Waqf board has been entrusted with a new role of distribution of Muslim religious subsidy. The government offers religious subsidy to all religions. That is, among the other religions in Mauritius, there are Hindus and Christians. So government offers subsidy to religions. The subsidy dedicated to Muslims goes to the Waqf board, who ensures distribution to the mosque. This subsidy is normally used as part of the emoluments of the imams, and the board makes every month payment to respective mosque. The board also makes a one-off grant to every mosque for the upkeep and maintenance. Types of Waqf in Mauritius, they are mainly religious Waqf, philanthropic Waqf, and family Waqf. While the religious Waqf and the philanthropic Waqf are grouped under Waqful Lillah, the family Waqf is classified as the Waqful Awlad according to the law. We have a table here. I don't know whether you are seeing the table.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. So this table gives us the number of Waqfs that is functioning in Mauritius. So the total number of Waqfs actually is 377. 270 of these are Waqful Lillah, and most of these are religious Waqfs. That is, the Waqfullah comprises 150 Waqfs for mosques, while the remaining 22 Waqfs represent general purpose philanthropic Waqfs. These philanthropic Waqfs support largely educational, vocational, social, charitable, and religious institutions. But this number has not moved much since 2007. And among the mosques, the newly created mosques after 2007, approximately 52 of them are not Waqf properties, because with the lack of trust in the Waqf board, newly created mosques are registered under the law of the Registrar of Association Act, and hence they have the committee, the executive committee, elected by the society. The respective society has a complete control on the mosque. Evolution of Waqf. The Waqful Awlad appears to be much favored in the 1950s. It can be said that Muslims have a very apprehensive opinion and understanding of the true spirit of Waqf. Also, not much effort is made by the ulamas to promote Waqf. Among the major obstacles to Waqf development in Mauritius is the lack of understanding with the community, the weakness of the Waqf Act, the Waqf Nama, the drafting of the Waqf Nama, the role of the Mutawalli, lack of funds, and the role of the Waqf board. The community has not received clear explanations of what Waqf stands for. In our talks in the mosque, we have realized that most of the people who attended these talks associate Waqf with land given out to Waqf board, and then there's no control on the land. So this is the knowledge on Waqf is very limited among the community. They don't know that Waqf can contribute to the economic development of the community, or it can contribute to poverty alleviation, or that it can be used as an investment tool to create jobs. This is new concept that we are introducing through our talks. The second obstacle to the implementation to Waqf development is the weakness of the Waqf Act. The Waqf Act is limited in scope, dealing mainly with properties, although some people have interpreted properties also money as property. The Act does not provide for such opportunities as cash Waqf, or it also does not provide for the use of such financial platforms as crowdfunding or blockchain for Waqf development. The third obstacle is the Waqfnama. One of the major impediments is the elaboration or the writing up of the Waqfnama. Waqifs are not trained or do not have the know-how of how to write Waqfnamas, possibly due to their level of education or lack of proper advice. One other element that is consists of an obstacle is the mutawali. Mutawalis do not often fails to submit annual audited accounts. They don't have the required skills to develop property, and they don't also have the skills to invest or to make the property progress. It is important to note that the Waqf board does not have the power to force the mutawali to act and develop the Waqf property, and Waqf property has, hence many Waqf properties have fallen in ruin. Lack of funds is another element that deter the development of Waqf properties. The mutawalis cannot, although it is permissible under the Waqf Act, they cannot borrow money from financial institutions. No financial institution would be keen to lend money to the mutawali of a Waqf, as the Waqf property shall not be liable to attachment. And then there is the Sharia issue of interest that is involved. And the last element, obstacle to the development of Waqf is the Board of Waqf Commissioners itself. So far, the board has assumed a supervisory role in the administration of Waqf properties. They have not been involved in the promotion of Waqf, and it doesn't seem that they have been involved in the latest development or acquire knowledge of the latest development in Waqf management. So the way forward, according to us, is while we are waiting, we expect that a new modern Waqf Act can be promulgated sometime in the future. We are promoting the creation of Waqf through other legislations, hence ensuring good governance and transparency. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Brother Musaddiq. I think that was quite an interesting and informative presentation that you've done. I think there will be quite a few questions that may arise, and I'm urging attendees to actually pose any questions that they wish to through the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions.
Yes, Mr. Zain Al-Abidin.
Yes, but we'll let us do the presentations, and then we can ask the panel the questions, if that's okay with everyone. Dr. Umar Hafiz, you wanted to say something?
No, it's okay. If time is not due, I can wait. No problem.
Okay. So let us go on to the next speaker. I'm sure the issue about the Waqf board and all that will be discussed as well. We can discuss it in a bit more detail. Let's go through our next speaker, who's going to talk to us about OCAF Mauritius, the foundation that has been established, its objectives and challenges by our brother ظهير Abbas. So ظهير has been quite involved with the initiation of this organization. He's the chairman of this organization. He is a social activist. He has been involved in a lot of youth work, especially in terms of illicit drugs and so forth. So, and is involved in a bit of research work in that area as well. So, Brother ظهير Abbas, over to you to talk to us about OCAF Mauritius, the foundation, OCAF, foundation of OCAF in Mauritius. Jazakallah khair. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Zainul. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Could you please just enable the screen sharing, please? Brother Zainul, could you please just?
Yes. I think Brother Muaz has to do that. Enable share screen for Brother ظهير.
Excuse me, I cannot hear.
I think you need to share screen. Allow ظهير to share screen, please. Enable share screen.
Okay, he can.
Okay, ظهير, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very
There
much.
we go.
In fact, OCAF Mauritius, the idea popped in when we were invited, I think 3 years back, to South Africa, and we were really amazed by the work being carried out by OCAF South Africa, and the idea cropped up there, and why not having an OCAF Mauritius as well, okay? And then when we come back, Sadiq and I, we started to brainstorm on the issue because we have a misconception of the Waqf system in Mauritius, unfortunately. And the idea come up with the setting up of OCAF Mauritius. It took us some time because we have to see different point of views regarding the law and so on, and which registration we will register the vehicle of Waqf. And OCAF Mauritius, it's a foundation. The aims is establish a foundation under the Foundation Act of 2012 in Mauritius, which is the main purpose of reviving the Waqf sector in Mauritius and in the region to unlock its full potential and increase its effectiveness in serving the communities. Because we started a few works recently in Comoro Island as well. Okay. And the specific objectives, it's to revive the concept of Waqf in Mauritius and the region, to promote modern concept of Waqf to advance the Waqf sector in Mauritius, to facilitate the raising of funds through Waqf for project implementation, to facilitate the setting up and management of affiliated Waqf. We also wanted to act as an umbrella organization with different affiliated Waqf and affiliated to similar international organizations like we have OCAF South Africa, and also to create and manage funds to pursue the above objectives. On this point, Sister Salma will brief you more on it later stage. Let's go one by one under the objectives. As I said, to revive the concept, since 3 years, we are already conducting sensitization activities to lead the Ummah to revive the concept of Waqf as a Sunnah. Unfortunately, Waqf has turned out to be a punitive measures in Mauritius because we have the tendency that when someone is not in good term with his heirs, he said, okay, I'll put the property in the Waqf, you won't get anything. That's a big issue that we have in Mauritius. So we have a misconception and we have to deal with it and to explain the community. In fact, Waqf is something different. We also organize talks, conferences, workshops, training programs. It's among our objectives, among others, to enhance awareness as a tool that holds great potential for socio-economic development. And we're also planning at a later stage to produce an e-magazine on Waqf, inshallah. To promote modern concept of Waqf, to advance the Waqf sector in Mauritius and the region, with a contemporary reinterpretation of fiqh rules and growth of Islamic finance, new concepts of Waqf have been developed, as well as new strategies of Waqf investment that can inject new life into the Waqf. The aim is therefore to promote modern concepts of Waqf, such as cash Waqf, temporary cash Waqf, corporate Waqf, and others. The third attempt to facilitate the raising of funds through Waqf for project implementation. The Waqf sector has now built interlinks with the banking, takaful, Islamic insurance, capital market, industry to develop viable Waqf investment strategies that can ensure sustainable returns for Waqf beneficiaries. And our aim is therefore to facilitate the raising of funds through modern Islamic finance techniques to rejuvenate existing Waqf assets, for example, land, buildings, and other assets that are in rundown conditions in Mauritius, unfortunately, and to create new Waqf assets. Awqaf Mauritius will also act as a facilitator to affiliated Waqf institutions to help them raise financing through Waqf to better serve their beneficiaries. And we also act as a consultant whenever possible to those who wish to raise financing through Waqf. So setting up of a management of affiliated Awqaf, we also like to be act as an umbrella organization for the affiliated. Our aim is also to help set up more Waqf institutions in Mauritius, to provide different benefits to its affiliates for their increased impact. We'll ensure coordination of activities of affiliated Waqf, provide training in Waqf management with the help of our brothers from overseas, and also related subject to respective mutawalis or trustees or other stakeholders. To be affiliated to similar organizations, Awqaf Mauritius seeks to be affiliated with other similar international organizations, such as Awqaf South Africa, and to learn from their experience and better serve the Mauritius community. Let me point out at this stage that we'd like to seize this golden opportunity to thank Brother Zainul Kaji, to thank Awqaf South Africa, who has been very helpful to us, because whenever we are in a situation where we can't find a way out, we just give a call to Brother Kaji, and he's always here to help us. If we are here today, it's definitely by the grace of Allah and with the help of Awqaf South Africa through Zainul Kaji. Now you have an overview of the organizational structure. We have the council members, myself, ظهير. We have Brother Musaddiq Sahibdin. We have Najmur Hussain Rasul. He's an expert in Islamic finance. We have Dr. Salma Sirali on my right. Later, you will know more about her. And we also have Brother Bilal Bechu. He's a forensic auditor. We also have the Council of Mutawalis to ensure coordination between different Waqf and the Mutawalis of affiliated Waqf. What we want here is when we have different Waqf created, we have a council of those Mutawalis so that they can share ideas, they share their points of views, and so on. Certain things not to duplicate. This will be very helpful, we think, and it's a best way to move forward. And on the other side, we have the Sharia Council, which is comprising of local and international Sharia advisors to see that different projects that will be taken under the Awqaf Mauritius is Sharia compliance. And under the council members, we have an investment committee. We'll see, because through cash Waqf, we will be able to see how we can invest our money in the best way. And for that, we will seek experts to advise us on different possibilities for investment, and also for governance committee to see that everything is, we have a good governance. Maybe some people might point out, are we another Waqf board? It's not the case, right? What is our stand vis-a-vis Waqf board? In fact, we'll encourage with a dialogue with the board. We will support the Waqf board to boost up Awqaf in Mauritius, and we also provide counseling and expertise whenever it's possible to existing Awqaf, which are failing into derelict to turn themselves into productive assets, because we have so many Waqf properties that are falling into derelict in Mauritius, unfortunately. Okay, that's my last slide. And now I'll invite Sister Salma Sirali to move on with the next step. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, Jazakallah, Brother ظهير. Thank you so much for all your kind words as well, and the association between Awqaf Mauritius and Awqaf South Africa. And I just want to say Jazakallah khairan to all of you as well for being such productive people who took the lessons from our Waqf training programs in South Africa. And over the years, all the programs have been attended by delegates from Mauritius, and I think your team has been most active in developing the Awqaf Foundation in Mauritius, and may Allah bless you and your team, and hope that it will progress further, inshallah.
South Africa it's our elder brother. We are the
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. We have many other elder brothers in the world as well, so alhamdulillah. Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Salma Sirali, who's actually an Islamic finance expert. She's got a PhD from Markfield University in London, which is associated with the Islamic Foundation, I think. And she's also got her master's in Islamic Studies, University of Portsmouth in the UK. And yes, so now we've got quite a formidable team actually out there in Mauritius, with experts in forensic auditing, in Islamic finance, then educators, journalists, media people. So alhamdulillah. Dr. Salma, you're going to be speaking to us about future prospects of Waqf in Mauritius. Jazakallah khairan. Over to you.
Jazakallah khairan, brother. Let me share my screen.
Okay, Brother Muaz, enable share screening, please.
It is enabled.
Okay.
Okay, I think before we talk about the prospects of Waqf in Mauritius, I would just like to share how the concept of Waqf has evolved over time, right? Just for the audience to understand how far we are in Mauritius in terms of Waqf development. So basically, like at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Waqf was mainly in the form of immovable assets, like the Sahabas were giving Waqf of wells, of land, orchards, right? And also when we talk about physical properties, Awqaf being linked to graveyards, schools, right? Then the second, the evolution in terms of Waqf is in terms of Waqf moving from physical properties to movable assets. So here we can talk about people give Waqf of Quran, of books, vehicles, boats, seeds, agricultural equipment, etc. Today we are the concept of Waqf has evolved, and today we are talking about contemporary form of wealth like cash and financial securities that you can use that have become Waqf assets. So people can donate cash as Waqf, and also there's fatwa about the temporary cash Waqf, And also the concept of Waqf is linked to the Islamic finance industry. So we have Waqf banking models, Waqf linked to Islamic capital market. So like corporates, shares of corporates being used as Waqf, and also unit trust, venture capital, Waqf Sukuk, Waqf REITs. So basically the concept has evolved quite a lot. And this dynamism of Waqf means that Waqf is no longer perceived today as merely being only a charitable instrument. So today we are talking about the use of Waqf not only for making social investments, but also investment management has come into the picture, where when you donate, when you, for example, when you raise cash Waqf, the funds, you secure the funds, the principals stay, and then you invest it, and the revenues that are used for charitable purposes, right? So with these modern structures, there are a number of advantages. First is, for example, with cash Waqf, now you have a larger base to raise funds. So you can raise, not only, Waqf is not only a matter of rich people possessing land and properties that can donate their property as Waqf, but they can also give cash Waqf in smaller denominations. And then with the modern structures, it's been possible with cash Waqf, for example, to revive abandoned Waqf assets and turn them into productive properties. And at the same time, with it becoming possible to raise a larger amount of funds, so that means we've been able to provide more welfare services. So today we are talking about Waqf Qurban, for example. We are talking about the use of Waqf for financing SMEs. I mean, it's basically we've extended the use of Waqf to meet current needs of communities. And then, as I said before, there is a professional management of Waqf has come into the picture, meaning you've been able to make to ensure sustainability of Waqf assets and generate more returns to beneficiaries. And at the same time, there's the governance that is important. We have to ensure transparency. We have to ensure accountability. And with Waqf Sukuk, for example, now you can even trade those Sukuk on a secondary market. So basically, the concept has evolved a lot. And if we come to the picture in Mauritius, we are very, very far behind in terms of comparing our situation to this modern evolution of Waqf. The understanding of Waqf, as the brothers have said before, is still quite primitive, where when we think of Waqf, it's in terms of physical assets, in terms of land, and associating Waqf into religious activities, associating it to mosque, graveyards, education, Islamic schools, and very low awareness about modern concepts. Even the notion of cash Waqf is barely existing. Like when I made share my ideas with my family, even they have no idea that they can give like 100 rupees as a cash Waqf to kick off a project. So this we are quite far behind, and also the concept of investment of Waqf funds and Waqf governance is still lacking. And at the same time, when we look at the situation of Muslims in Mauritius, I mean, Muslims are quite well off. They are into, I mean, they are in a good situation, alhamdulillah. And also they are very giving. They have this giving nature, right? Like other Muslims in other countries. So the potential of developing waqf through cash waqf, for example, is quite high. So with Awqaf Mauritius, we would like to encourage cash waqf donations. I mean, as a start, we won't go into the other concepts of waqf, but as a start, we can start with cash waqf, and even corporate waqf. Why not? To encourage businesses to give make waqf of shares, for example, and at the same time, we would like to encourage the community to set up more waqf institutions. That's why we would like to affiliate with other waqf institutions in Mauritius and provide services to them. For example, in terms of training, if they need any, in terms of drafting the waqf deed, if they need any assistance. And also at the level of Awqaf Mauritius, we intend to set up the investment committee and the governance committee. So the role of the investment committee would be to advise in terms of investment opportunities where we should invest the cash waqf raised, and the governance committee to ensure that there is good governance practices. Everything is very clear. We should be able to show what has been done during a year, for example, with the cash waqf funds that we raise. And in terms of investment opportunities, for example, I think there's so much, because it's quite a green pasture in Mauritius. I mean, besides, as I said, besides the waqf of buildings and land, waqf has not been used for other purposes. For example, for protection of the environment, even for supporting SMEs, for training purposes. And through cash waqf, we'll be able also to help other mutawallis raise funds, and they can have funds to revive abandoned waqf properties. So with this, I mean, our objectives in mashallah is quite, I mean, we would like to achieve so much in Mauritius, but we are still at the very nascent stage. We are still at the stage of registering Awqaf Mauritius. So we ask for your du'as that inshallah we become successful, and we'll be able to promote waqf in Mauritius. Jazakallah khairan.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, Dr. Salma. Thank you so much for such an informative presentation as well. I think now we've basically covered the state of waqf in Mauritius. We've covered the whole issue about the waqf board. We've covered the issue about Awqaf Mauritius, the foundation, and as Sister Salma has elaborated on future prospects and all the new concepts of waqf making in terms of cash waqf, in terms of crowdfunding, the Awqaf Sukuk and the Awqaf Qurban, and lots of things happening in Malaysia and elsewhere, new types of products coming up, and it's really amazing the way there's kind of explosion of thinking going on in the whole waqf arena. And sometimes we also feel here in South Africa we lagging behind actually, because Malaysia's coming up with all sorts of new ways of actually encouraging people to make waqfs as well. But what is very encouraging is that you have been, while you're not yet registered, you have been exploring quite a number of ways in which you can encourage people you popularizing the whole idea, you going from mosque to mosque, you know, you talking to people, and I think you're creating quite a bit of awareness as a prelude to the founding of the foundation, alhamdulillah. So I think we do have a few questions that have come up. One of the questions is, what are the Waqf assets that you have in terms of properties, buildings, and factories? In other words, commercial Waqfs. These are the ones that I think Brother Musaddiq mentioned, that you've got a number of, you've got about 272 Waqfs that are, but are these mainly religious Waqfs? So you don't really have commercial Waqfs. Is that what you're saying? So what are the, in terms of Waqf properties, in terms of buildings and factories and commercial productive assets that produce rental income?
They are, apart from the mosques as Waqf properties, there are a few commercial buildings in the capital of Mauritius. So there are areas around one of the big mosques that have been dedicated to commercial buildings which are renovated. This provides the revenues from these Waqf. But this is limited to only in the capital. I don't know whether there are such type of initiatives in other parts of the island.
Okay. What about movable assets like tractors and boats for fishermen and things like that?
We don't have this here. We started a project in Comoros last year, and we followed it up this year with a donation of 5 boats to fishermen cooperatives. But this was not exactly Waqf, because it was based on donations that we obtained from people in Mauritius. We are yet to explore the possibility of bringing Waqf to Comoros.
So are all the Waqfs registered? Whether it's philanthropic, you know, Waqfs that are made by people, either the Waqf Awlad, as you mentioned, and the philanthropic Waqfs, are these all registered with the Waqf board?
Yes, those are registered with the Waqf board. The one that Brother Musaddiq has mentioned, they are all registered with the Waqf board. In terms of movable Waqf assets, I know of someone, for example, who donated his library as Waqf. You know, all the books that he has collected over the years, he donated it as Waqf. But
so it's donated to who?
it was actually donated to a mosque.
Okay.
To the main mosque in Mauritius.
Okay. So the mosque actually is the mutawalli of that. The mosque representatives, the mosque mutawallis, manage this library as well. Have you got any idea of the market value of the Awqaf in Mauritius?
No. We don't have the latest report because all the records are at the Waqf board and they are not published. Right. The accounts of Waqf board is not published. So we don't have latest information about the value of all those properties, of all those Waqf properties in Mauritius.
Unfortunately, we would like on the panel to have a Waqf commissioner, which we invited, but unfortunately, he declined at the last stage because he didn't get the green light from the Waqf board because it was too short notice. Maybe Waqf board could have answers some of those questions that here, because we as individuals, we won't have access to those issues because it is, I think, private. We don't have
submitted to the president.
It is submitted to the president, and I don't think we have access to those information because different Waqf are managed by different groups in Mauritius, and we won't share their income and so on, unfortunately.
Can you hear me?
Yes, he just only switched off his computer and he will come again now.
Okay.
Yeah, we will get if there's any question from the Facebook, inshallah, we will get now.
Sure.
Okay, here's a question about the Waqf culture in Mauritius among the families. Is there any Waqf family among the families for the generation of the families, especially from the rich people who are thinking about their generations?
Yes. There are quite a number. I mean, Brother Musaddiq shared the information earlier. We do have a family Waqf in Mauritius, along with charitable Waqf. So again,
let me add something to this, that we have, for example, there is one Waqf in the capital, Port-Louis, where it is a family Waqf, but they appointed a registered society as a Mutawalli, and the society has now erected a building on this, and they are collecting rents from part of the building, and part of the building is given as a for philanthropic use. In this case, the society is the Mutawalli of this Waqf. But in general, the family Waqfs have some impediments. For example, there is one family who has given his property as Waqf, and then it goes on to all the generations of this family. So the income generated, or the benefits, the beneficiaries of the Waqf do not see any interest in the Waqf. For example, in one of the towns in Rose Hill, there is a commercial building being rented as for shops and so on. But there are so many generations concerned with the benefits from this Waqf. It doesn't interest anyone to encourage Waqf, family Waqf.
Sorry, I had my computer switched off for a few minutes, so I was absent for a little while from the webinar. Just a final one on what kind of support is being given from these Waqfs to educational institutions and other sort of community-based institutions?
There are very little support for education. For example, there is one Waqf in Port-Louis, for example, we call Rehmat Bai Waqf, which provides assistance for vocational training. I mean, there are I know of many people who have gone through this Waqf, and they have acquired basic skills in carpentry, masonry, and such things. There is also the Muslim Educational Society, which provides courses to people. This is also based, well, it belongs to the Muslim Educational Society, but they are involved in education. But in general, the Islamic college, we have the Islamic colleges. There are three Islamic colleges. They are managed by an Islamic Cultural Association, and these properties were, the Islamic Cultural Association is the Mutawalli of these properties.
Okay, so I think maybe just as we concluding this particular session, what in terms of we have discussed like future prospects, but now in terms of actually materializing the Awqaf Foundation and going towards establishment, what steps are being now taken to actually operationalize?
Okay. Now, inshallah, we already start for registration processes, and I think by the end of this month, everything will be finalized, and then we'll go for a website, right? Okay, for website, and afterwards we go for the launching maybe in January, and the official launching in January. We'll invite all brothers through the Zoom and see how we can launch it. And one project actually we are waiting for the finalization of the registration. In fact, a brother come forward and willing to offer 1 acre of land in Mauritius, and Awqaf Mauritius will be the mutawali for this project, and we are waiting for the registration to finalize so that we can donate the land, and Awqaf Mauritius will be the mutawali. And the project on this land is maybe first it will be a home for the elderlies, where we'll get the income received, we'll reinvest it, and also finance over project, and also to have a greenhouse. We are working on that. Inshallah, everything will be finalized as soon as registration is over, and this will be a pilot project and a kickstart for the Mauritius project.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I'd like to invite Dr. Umar Hafiz now, just to give us some closing comments from his point of view. He's been here with us. He's also very, very instrumental in organizing the World Awqaf Forum, very, very passionate about Waqf, and particularly in Muslim minority countries. So I'm so happy that he's actually joined us also this evening from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Brother Zainul Abdin, very much. I am very happy because we see Mauritius island on maps only. But I am very glad tonight we saw some brothers and sisters living in Mauritius. So this is very good minute for me to talk to all of you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to ask our brother who presented the first presentation about the Foundation Act. Is there a specific Awqaf Foundations Act in Mauritius, or it is just general Foundation Act, and they are trying to benefit from general articles or general guidance from that act? This is very important for me, because we can help in making any analysis for them free of charge, just to help them promote the Awqaf industry in Mauritius. And I don't know if there is an answer on this or not, because they talked a lot about cash Awqaf. And cash Awqaf is related to the crowdfunding. And our brother said there is no chance to use crowdfunding to collect Awqaf in cash. If he'd like to shed some light on this, please.
Yes.
Okay, Brother Musaddiq, would you like to respond to that?
Yes. The Waqf Act, the fact that it is quite old, it's outdated, it doesn't cater for the new elements of Waqf, such as cash Waqf and media Waqf, for example. And so we are promoting the subsequent Awqaf through the Foundation Act, or the Trust Act, or the Registrar of Association Act, or the Cooperative Acts, or the Companies Act. So we are offering people who express the intention to set up a waqf to choose among the different possibilities available. In case of property, immovable property, we will encourage people to go through the Waqf board to have a proper Waqf nama registered with the Waqf board and appointment of a mutawali. But for the other initiatives, for example, I have myself a media initiative, a media Waqf. It cannot be registered with the Waqf board. It will be registered as a company with limited guarantee, but the constitution of the company will underline, will focus on the fact that it is non-profit, that it will be based on Waqf principle. There's another initiative called the Mushkil Asan Waqf, which will provide home care services for the elderly. In this case also, there's no possibility to be associated with the Waqf board. So we have to register it whether through the Cooperatives Act as a cooperative society or with a register of association as a friendly association. And this will enable us to raise cash Waqf through Waqf vouchers. We are going to issue, our Waqf Mauritius will issue Waqf vouchers and Waqf certificates to people who would like to donate cash Waqf, to involve in cash Waqf.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, you want to say, Sarah?
I may add at this stage, because we are at the very beginning, very nascent stage, we are not thinking of establishing, for example, a crowdfunding platform. Because if we do that, the Financial Services Commission in Mauritius is just coming up with new regulations about crowdfunding. So then we'll be regulated by the Securities Commission in Mauritius, which we would like to avoid at this stage, because and we will need a license as well.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Just one final one. This is a brother from Algeria who's with us also, Dr. bin Abdul Aziz from Algeria, who's asking, are there any waqfs that are that distinguish yourselves from any others? Are there some really outstanding waqfs, major waqfs in Mauritius that you can actually say, well, this is the one that is, the premier waqf of Mauritius?
This is what we want to do now. We want to promote something that's different from all that is happening, because actually it is limited to mosque and such religious institutions. So we want to show that investing in waqf, creating a waqf that can generate funds, that can contribute to poverty alleviation is possible. So that's why this proposal, that the opportunity that we are having, there's one brother who is donating land as a waqf, and our Mauritius will be appointed as a mutawali, and from there we will start a prototype and something new, completely different from what is happening in Mauritius now.
Okay, Jazakallah. I just want to ask our organizers there that from this Waqf dialogue group, Brother Muaz or Brother Najim, Dr. Najim, are we okay for time, or are we ready to close up? If you can just let me know, or if there are any other questions that anybody would like to pose, you're welcome to do so. Okay. If there are no questions, yes. Sorry, anybody?
There is no questions from.
No questions. Okay. Okay. Jazakallah khairan. I think it was a wonderful exposure to everybody, whoever's been participating with us, our attendees from all over, I think from Nigeria, from Algeria. Dr. Benazuz, very happy to have you on this webinar as well. And there are quite a few others here. I don't know many of the names here. Brother Hassan Veli, I think you from Johannesburg. Thanks for joining us as well. And all the others that have joined us. I think, as a closing remark, I would like to say that the Waqf movement as such, worldwide, is really gaining a lot of ground. Lots more people are becoming aware of Awqaf, and we really need to put a lot more effort into reviving this whole concept of Waqf and the Waqf system, because this has been the like our chairman and our in fact recently even the Indonesian Reserve Bank governor said that this has been like a shock absorber for the Muslim Ummah, shock absorber in the economy. So if you have a strong Waqf system, even if there are ups and downs in the economy of the country, the Waqf system is there always to assist the poor and needy and for the development of the Muslim Ummah, not only in terms of mosques and madrasas and so forth, but in many other aspects, in universities, hospitals, clinics, care for the elders, libraries, youth development, and campaigns against all these like illicit drugs and alcoholism and gender violence and all those evils within the community as well. We can be a powerful force for goodness, inshallah. So with those few words, Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much to everybody else out there. Thanks to our brothers and sisters from the IIIW. You've really been wonderful. You can follow this conversation on Facebook, and with that we'll close off. I'll also just recite from the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Jazakallahu khairan. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. في أمان الله.
جزاك الله خيرا.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. في أمان الله جميعا. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Okay, and jazakallah to all our panelists there. Thank you so much for taking all your time in trouble. We wish you all the best for Mauritius, inshallah. And we are always holding hands together with Dr. Umar Hafiz as well, and all the other brothers from IIIW, inshallah.
Salams from Mauritius.
Okay, jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.